One of the things that really stood out to me with this whole Kevin Farrar thing is the statements he made about Kathleen Kennedy, because it's in the Mandoverse. uh, it tells you how much of a dork he is. I am also a nerd, very much into Star Wars. I watch all of it. I love all of it. Some I dislike more than others. But what Kevin really doesn't understand with the whole and a lot of people, and that's why I wanted to speak on this, is because a lot of people don't understand what Kathleen Kennedy does. And there's so many misconceptions that she was supposed to replace Lucas. She was always there with Lucas all along, and Spielberg. You should look up what non-Star Wars things she's produced. E.T., I think Close Encounters, Raiders of the Lost Ark. She's been with Lucasfilm for a very long time. Now, to understand the job that she has, the job is a producer. She's there to make things happen. You need this set? Alright, we'll do it in London. You need this special effects crew, or I'll do that in San Francisco. Right, we'll do it at ILM. You need craft services. We're going to get the best craft services for our cast. We're going to have the best security because it's going to be a closed set and people are going to fly drones over just to get this. Like, they remember when Force Awakens came out, how many leaks? And then Last Jedi, how many leaks? But nobody cared about Rogue One, right? And it turns out Rogue One is the best Disney's done. Disney's done great, I think. I know that's controversial. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love everything Star Wars, the same way a Trekkie would love everything that's Trek. But we don't hawk the Trek here. Got it? We're talking about Star Wars. And so what is a producer's job? A producer, you're like Jennifer Klein. I scour tweaking out all these body cams of criminals I don't like. And I'm not paying attention to my kids. Clip that. So you don't know what a producer does. Kathleen Kennedy is not writing the scripts. I know that South Park did that episode, and it made it seem like she's the one. It's probably just the sign of the times. The same way Matrix plugged into something that was going on, the same way Rage Against the Machine plugged into something that's going on, and it doesn't suit the MAGA white supremacist Catherine Zed, Kevin James Farrar's narrative. So they regurgitate these talking points, and a lot of the alt-right does this. I don't like Star Wars because it's diversity. It's DEI. The Acolyte sucks because there's too many lesbians on screen. It's like, my greatest memory of Star Wars is that cantina scene as a kid. I was 3 years old. Didn't even understand what I was seeing. But I remember it. Like all these different aliens just chilling in a bar. All these different species. Man, things are different, right? That's the world I want to live in. Robots do everything for us? Fuck, that's awesome. That's cool. They know everything. Robots. We can rely on robots. Or your phone. Or manufacturing. Yeah, that's where Lucas went in the prequel trilogy. I'm not a big fan of the prequel trilogy. In fact, I think the prequel trilogy is the worst Star Wars that has ever happened, except for the last 10 minutes of Revenge of the Sith. Clip it. But to understand what a producer does is important. because a producer is someone who produces the production, is in charge of the production. She's not writing the scripts. She's not the one necessarily that's approving all the directions that they want to go, but she's somebody who loves Star Wars. She loves Star Wars, and she has the skill set to understand how a major studio and a major franchise would run. Are people happy with the way Kevin Feige ran Marvel into the ground? No. Star Wars is a huge, huge universe. You can play and dance around in it all you want. You can be inclusive. But when the whole thing about Star Wars is that cantina scene, that another world was possible. It seemed like very of its time, 1977, disco, everybody, civil rights, everything, end of the war, Jimmy Carter. So it was a different time, and it tapped into the mindset and resonated with young kids. I was 10 years old when Return of the Jedi came out. I stood in a huge-ass line to go to the best theater, the brand new theater. It was like fucking 3 football fields long. I had all the toys. Mom spoiled me like crazy with all the Star Wars. She loved Star Wars. My whole family loved Star Wars. Everyone loved Star Wars. But then all of a sudden, all these alt-right people started complaining that there's too many black people. There's too many gay representation. There's too much... and I'm like, in a world of aliens and bears and lizards and octopuses and fucking worms. Like, really? You're worried about too many lesbians? Are you serious? I don't look that far into it. I think that a galaxy far, far away would be far more advanced than MAGA. All these people who complain about Kathleen Kennedy. Like, her job is to facilitate, to produce, to help the production, to put things in place. That is a monumental task when we're talking about Star Wars. Monumental. There's not a lot of people that could do it. Lucas sold because he couldn't do it. Didn't want to do it. He shouldn't have to. He already made his fucking point. Has he done anything since? No. So when it comes to Kathleen Kennedy's, where she's like, all right, I'm going to greenlight things, right? I'm going to greenlight this Ahsoka series. But she's also thinking, yeah, but I also want this Mandalorian movie, and we've got to do some setup with the characters so people are really invested once, we send Star Wars back to the theater, right? There's an end game. She's a producer. Production. She's not writing the script. She's not saying, we need more lesbians. No, she's not saying that. And when it comes to Acolyte, the overreaction on that is just like the Bud Light shit. It's just like, what? What the casting director, which is a different position than Kathleen Kennedy, and the director came to an agreement is that, hey, look, it should be very diverse. There should be lots of different types of people at this time in the High Republic. What was it, 100 years or 1,000 years? I think it was 100 years before The Phantom Menace. I'm not sure. And they wanted to show that, hey, look, there's this Jedi Order that is full of all different types. So that's the way they casted it. And people got mad because, oh my God, there's a gay black guy. Oh, there's an Asian guy who's the lead. Oh God, we don't like that. There's a bunch of black lesbians that seem like they are witches, right? Like, it just seemed like an overreaction. There's two little uh, gay Jedi lesbian chicks. There's a Wookiee that's not the way we imagine Chewie, which was the same thing with Book of Boba Fett. Like, oh, I actually like that character, the the black Chewie. People were upset because it was a black Chewie. How dare you? Only blonde-haired Wookiees from now on, you woke motherfuckers. Or having a woman in charge or being the new Jedi, the last Jedi. That really bothered people. But as a kid growing up, the joke was always about, like, why is Princess Leia the only female? It was such a joke that that's what they put Mon Mothma in fucking Return of the Jedi. There was backlash. It was like, why is Princess Leia the only female in this universe so far? There was no female representation. Probably something that Kathleen Kennedy had told George Lucas in the original trilogy. That's how long she's been around. So there's very few people that could manage a studio that understand how production actually works. And a lot of the blame's going to be put on them, should be put on the directors, should be put on the actors, should be put on Disney to some degree. But it's not Kathleen Kennedy that's doing this. So it's just a lame, tired excuse that's out there in the zeitgeist, and everybody's like, oh yeah, I don't like that there's so many women in Star Wars now. Why are the women the Jedi? It's like, oh, well, you're just showing you're an incel. So all these arguments and stuff like diversity in Star Wars? Are you sure that's a road you want to go down? Because for everyone that I know that's a real Star Wars fan, that cantina scene with Wolfman and we don't allow them droids in here. You know, oh, I don't like you either. You'll be dead. Yeah. Yeah, they're like, oh shit, there's even languages. Press 1. Why isn't press 1 for English in Star Wars? Yeah. Why do I have to wait for the press Spanish button to turn off? It's a very weird mindset to have when it comes to Star Wars. And it's pretty obvious what that's all about, where that hatred comes from. When it comes to Skeleton Crew, that was a whole thing that came out of, oh man, people really don't like that we're being diverse and inclusive to women and minorities and different sects of people. I was like, oh, let's play it careful. We'll just have kids, right? Nobody be upset that there's kids of different types. There's a fucking elephant kid. Come on, he looks like fucking Dumbo. That's Disney. That's Disney's like, we gotta sell a plush toy. If we don't got a plush toy at the park, we're done. That's it. That's what Disney's influence is on Star Wars. And there needs to be better writing, better acting, more original. Those are good criticisms of Star Wars. Blaming Kathleen Kennedy, somebody who's well accomplished and well capable of handling such a major operation, is just a cop-out. You just don't understand how Hollywood works, and you really don't like Star Wars if you hate on Kathleen Kennedy. Disney gets a little bit of shit, right? Because, like I said, the plush toy stuff is their bottom line. They want to sell a little robot that you can construct at the park. That's Disney's mindset, right? The Porgs, the Ewoks, the little, what are they, the the ones that fix C-3PO or C-3PO and Rise of Skywalker. What are those called? They were in The Mandalorian too. Everybody likes them. They got the little Spanish. They talk like little Spanish mechanics. Disney needs shit like that. They need shit like that. They were so used to having R2-D2, and R2-D2 was even inserted into the prequels. There was no need for him to be in it. When you think about it, it is really just basically about those two droids. So it's not even about Luke Skywalker. So you can blame Kathleen Kennedy and Disney to some degree, but it's just these right-wing talking points that they don't really like black people on screen, that racists like Catherine Zed and Kevin James Farrar, they're just racist. And I don't understand how anyone who's racist could enjoy Star Wars at all, just based on what it is. So anyways, that's my rant. I got a lot to say about Star Wars. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe.
George Lucas wouldn't. Kathleen Kennedy, 1,000%.
Yeah, don't trust her.
Kathleen Kennedy. For those of you who don't know who Kathleen Kennedy is,
no idea.
She is the Disney person that's in charge of Star Wars, that basically ran Star Wars into the ground.
You had me a Disney person.
She would dox me for sure. In the car.
Shut up! I'm talking to my
God, rent free.